Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of a run through. So today I'm taking a look at Marvel's Avengers, put out by Square Enix or Eidos Interactive. I'll say from the start, I'm looking at this objectively as a video game. I have no affinity for Avengers or any of that stuff. I've not seen any of the movies, so I don't know anything about these characters. So I'm specifically just looking at this as a video game, and as a video game. To me, this looks like a follow-up to Anthem, is what that seems like to me, or at least a spiritual successor because it plays almost exactly like it. And with the exception of the flying, but if you pick what Iron Man, his thing is pretty much that. It feels very similar to that game. Like they could have thrown Iron Man into Anthem and you would have not even noticed. Yeah, so that being said, like it's basically just like you have slots here. They're not cosmetic by any means. It's all just under the skin stuff. I think when you play as Angry Green or Hulk, it's just like you changing like his bones and shit. Like that's the way that his stuff is implemented. And it's a little strange. I also don't quite understand the power level thing either because he's lower but does like way more damage and also has like way more skills available, even though I guess that's based on level aside from power level. But we can look at the skills here and it's kind of the same thing. It's just like you have a light, a heavy, everybody has a ranged attack, and then you have like your ultimate, I guess, abilities more or less. And then they vary very mildly. It's like a variation of just like holds on the X button. Some of these are a little more varied, I guess, than others, but they're all basically some variation of the same move you already have. And then you'll get over to cosmetic stuff. It's just overall outfits, full outfits. There's nothing too crazy there. There also is this little sneaky guy here at the bottom that you may not have noticed. And then you've got obviously monetizable outfits and stuff here. There's also like a day shift between them, so they won't all be available. It's the same thing like Fortnite and whatever the Fall Guys and stuff have done. Then you're finding like sets of comic books, which is kind of neat, but that's it. You don't really. I guess they have stab bonuses on them if you find them, so it's like overall a bonus. Is that for? Yeah, so each one of those has like a small increase to something, and then that's pretty much it. I'll jump into an actual mission here or some kind of fight. I will say like the load on this is like it takes forever. It's also it appears to be always online. I think I finished this mission too, and then it froze up completely, so maybe I didn't finish it now. There's also the performance stuff is pretty hefty, like in the initial scene, which is effectively transitioning between a bunch of different, I'm gonna change the hero guy, though I don't like her much. I like Hulk better, but they're both pretty generic and kind of boring to play as, to be completely honest. But yeah, the performance in the beginning mission was absolutely abysmal, and if you haven't followed the channel, I've played this on a RTX 2080 Ti and then a 9900K, and it's on a 2K monitor with G-Sync and 144 hertz refresh rate, which should mitigate almost all the smoothing issues, or at least it does in basically every game, but this one not the case. It also starts with a AMD enabled effects on, which was causing tons of performance issues, even though this is definitely an NVIDIA system. Let me turn down whatever the hell that is. This is another thing I have a huge gripe with. This menu right here, this is the pause menu, but every button is tied to another thing instead of just giving you like a drop down menu where you pick stuff. And I don't know why they decided to make, I don't know, like, I wouldn't call it more streamlined, because the game itself is very, like, slow going in a lot of regards. especially like if you fail a mission, you got to go like all the way back out and start. You can't just restart from there. Also, I think due to the way the multiplayer is set up, even if you have like companions and other characters with you, you can't switch to them. You can only be the character that you've decided to start with, even when you're playing single player, which is technically online, because I had a disconnect last night, and it sent me all the way back out, and I failed the mission, even though I'm playing by myself, and had to start the whole thing over, so that was already pretty annoying on a game that's already not that fun. This is also, like, I have now the ability to play this, what seems like the exact same mission at a higher difficulty without getting another mission to do instead. I don't know if that's by virtue of the game bugging out when I finished the last one, but I would assume that that would give me, like, that would appear to me that I did pass it, so I got the second tier of this mission, but it didn't give me a new mission. So
there is a special enemy unit close to your location. They may drop something useful if defeated.
Yeah, everything has a level. It's also based on the power level that you start in on. So if you find any item and upgrade your power, they all stay the same. So it's also not like level based. It's just on the power level. So the level, I think, only really, as far as I can tell, it may change stats a little bit, but it seems to just affect the actual power level. This is the thing, is this game is fucking annoying. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Okay, so there, that's my first time I died on the other character. Hulk didn't give a shit, which makes sense, I guess. But yeah, it's a bad, it doesn't feel good. None of the like the dodge is like, that's like a misstep. It's not even really a dodge. It doesn't feel like. This is all, there's a lot of this like pre-rendered kind of scenes that come up all the time, which sort of take you out of the action. I don't know how that actually affects or works in multiplayer. I think it's supposed to be cinematic, obviously, but you're doing it quite a bit, so it's just, a little jarring and kind of unnecessary. Like it just, holds the open boxes and stuff, which doesn't. It's also like you're this big. I mean, narratively speaking, like I don't know anything about the Hulk really, but as far as I am aware, he's supposed to just be pissed off all the time and lose. Oh, they even mentioned earlier, he's like, I black out whenever, I Hulk out, so I don't even know what happens. So I imagine that, and then I can't think of him going like, I don't know, I'm not aware of anything, but I'm gonna open this little chest with my foot real quick and just, I don't know. It's just. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh on the game, but the game itself is just not good. It's also really buggy. I've had a lot of just like outside of performance issues, just like general bugs of grabbing onto ledges and other stuff like that. Like this, like I'm angry, but I'm calm enough to open this. I know there's something in there for old Daddy Hulk.
I wonder what's inside that AIM building.
This is literally the exact same dialogue the first time I did this. And again, I'm in single player, so effectively they should know I've done all of this. And like, I mean, again, it's his character, but he doesn't have any dialogue whatsoever. It's just grunts and yells, and like maybe one or two words in there. And I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's his character, I guess. So that's Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be more bones. Yeah, I guess I'll show you that real fast. So yeah, his stuff is like, I guess it didn't save because I got the same prompt before, but I did have this item in. I don't know how it works. This tied to online thing is a huge negative. Yeah, so it's like you look here, and then I got new bones, and they give me 12% light combo finish, 38% chance of critical strike. That seems better. This seems much better, just as far as stats go. You also have all these currencies, so you can sort of I guess if you haven't found a better item that you like, you can dismantle stuff and then boost the ones that you do have, which is nice, I guess, so you can get a little bit more juice out of a thing, but at a point everything's going to be better that you find than the stuff you already have if you keep playing, I would assume. So that seems like trivial or kind of something you would save until way later. Go ahead and clear this out, and then I'll go to the mission area itself. I'm also not sure how this recording is going to look. For whatever reason, the performance of this game is so hindered that the OBS performance codec needed to be toned down, which I've never had to do with any game. So I don't know what this is going to look like. So with Hulk 2, you just like, you pick up folks and hit other folks with folks. But then if they have a shield, they win every time, even though, you know, you're the goddamn Hulk, but whatever. It's just so, I mean, it's like you're... Oh, okay, great job, team. Seem like that. You have the ability to grip onto walls, but... Or ledges, but he just... Doesn't seem like he wants to do it. Nope. That one I didn't make it, I get that. There we go. Oh, you gripped on that though. That's good. Okay, yeah. I don't know, man. It's just I want to. I mean, when I first saw this game, I was like, oh, that seems like a fun game. I don't care about the Avengers, but I like leveling up and all this. But it's that same thing of like, just we're putting too many RPG elements into every single game, and I think it's to mitigate. I think it's really to be able to spend money on a game in some form or fashion. It's like, well, you can level up, we can get these boosters, you can do all this, and I don't know if this game has that, but obviously there's a marketplace, so doors open for whatever they really want to do. Also this guy's gonna say, what, you're an Avenger and you're the god, you're Hulk.
You're an Avenger?
Yeah, I'm the Hulk.
Miss Khan, the shield signal is being blocked by a local AIM security.
Like, how does this guy work for an organization that fights the Avengers and then is not aware of one of the arguably the largest Avenger? Just size speaking, you would go, I probably want to watch out for the big dude. Cool, frozen here. That's always fun. Guess I'll use my ults because there's... That's Hulk smash.
I'm working on clearing up the signal. Just stay within proximity of the security node.
In this mission too, I've had this thing where they get basically like 90% of the way just by you not standing here and them just being on the map, even if they're not on the actual beacon or whatever. So that was cool. A little bit of a bug, maybe, you know, that could be one or the other. I also like, I don't know how this game is gonna look and run on a PS4 or an Xbox One, because I mean, it's already kind of rough on here, and like I said, I'm running at a pretty good, I mean, about as good of a consumer PC as you can make at this point. And it's struggling, and if you're trying to play this at 4K, I fucking forget about it. I don't know. It just seems like that's gonna be even worse.
Control of the security node. Just a bit longer.
I guess I should mention the plot too is basically like the Avengers. What even is happening?
These enemies must be defeated.
Oh, thank you, buddy. I had no idea that you had to beat up these guys. Like, I don't know. If I was a kid, maybe I would just eat this up. But as an adult, and I just, I'm not seeing it. I mean, it's definitely better than the beat 'em ups that I grew up with. But again, games have changed so much that it feels, it's so boring. Like, I don't know. It's. I just never went up here, so I'm gonna go up here and see if there's anything particularly special. Oh. I got 5 iPads. Okay. Well, that guy's dead. Oh, I see. I'm sure we have an icon on a dead guy. Okay.
The signal should be coming through now.
Loud and clear.
The tracker will lead you to the shield bunker.
Follow the beats. Got it. Commander Hill, huh? Gonna try not to upset him. Let's get out of the cold. Wait.
Data remains inconclusive.
We're close. Do you see anything?
Yep.
I think we found it.
Nice work. Let's hope that neural uplink is inside.
Get you back to yourself in no time, Jarvis.
I appreciate the sentiment. It is rather unpleasant existing without instantaneous access to all the information in the known universe.
Yeah, I haven't said much. I don't know. There's not much to say. I don't play this game, I think, is maybe the sentiment. I think
I'm not
just
sure what the human equivalent would be.
just
I suppose it's like
I don't know, spend $60 elsewhere or $100 depending upon what edition of this game you get.
Right.
But this feels like a pretty massive flop to me. I don't know if maybe it's just the beta stuff, but it comes out in like a week, so I can't imagine they're going to be able to adjust everything that's happened so far, and make it a better experience in that short amount of time. Here's a pro gaming tip. I'll show you this. There's a secret here. And look at that. You can get more bones. You get all the bones a guy might need. Look at that. More bones. Let's see if I can equip these bones. Look at that. There's a lot of better bones. I got all these good bones now. I'm the strongest Hulk to date as of now because of these bones. And ordinarily I wouldn't just go around and grab. I mean, I would if I was playing this for real. I wouldn't do this normally in a quick experience, but I just wanted to show. I mean, this is the game. Oh, is that blue bones? Hell yeah! Give me that. Give me a blue spine. It's much better than my boring old green one.
The neural uplink is nearby.
That's always fun too, just trying to hit buttons. I mean, I guess if you're Hulk, you'd be super angry, so maybe it'd be hard to hit buttons, but I mean, come on, Doc.
Whoa. What's happening?
I believe we may have triggered a classified shield security system.
Avenger detected.
Yeah, I don't care.
Director Fury. Like, Shield's directive. Those protocols he was talking about must be inside.
What more bones? We can do that sick stuff where you open chests and you get absolutely nothing, which is cool. Oh, even stronger bones. No. Didn't I get a blue spine just a second ago? Oh, that's what that. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, it's getting a little held up. I don't know. Like, if you're a huge fan of Avengers, maybe there's something to love here. I really don't know.
They must have
As a
followed
game,
you.
though, like I
Check
said,
the
just
uplink.
kind of speaking
I think I
objectively,
can
it's just
upload the
super
protocols
boring.
to a secure server.
And I can't imagine any of the other characters are going to make this more exciting. I'll say her character, though, the animation stuff on her is pretty neat just because she's a stretch person, I guess. See, like, what just happened right there? I dodged out of the way. The laser wasn't near me, but it somehow counts as a trip. And then the game crashed. Well, that's it for Marvel's Avengers beta, guys. This is a bad video game. I take back any positive things I said. I get it's a beta, but I think the game is terrible, and you shouldn't spend your money on it. There are other games to spend your money on that are not Marvel's Avengers beta. It's a big pile of suck. Play something else. Play Anthem, even. If you're really that desperate for a game that's like this, play Anthem. That's a better game than this, somehow. I mean, I spent 70 some hours with that game to find out it was bad. This one was pretty apparent. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe as I saw that game and I went, you know what? I've been fooled before. It's not going to happen again. Let's look at, what does this say? These are tips from the devs about the open beta. Yeah, resource boost, that's there. Perfect dodges. Ooh. Yeah, Abomination, that was the first boss. He was not difficult whatsoever. Harm rooms, I guess, are just like your multiplayer stuff. That's another thing, too, I'll quickly say. The multiplayer doesn't happen until at least like 2 hours into this thing, from what I can tell. Because I think I have to do another mission after the one I just had to do again that I already done before, of course, it crashed. I think after that is when you actually get the ability to do multiplayer stuff. So that doesn't happen there. So if you're like, oh, let's download this and play with our friends, you set 2 hours aside each of you before you get that chance before the weekend's over. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it almost seemed like they did that because it seems like the multiplayer stuff is not coming together all that great. And I think maybe that's part of the reason they pushed it out so far. Is like, maybe if they don't get to it, they won't notice, but it will be bad. I would imagine they wouldn't. I can't even really imagine why they gave us so many options to play this game before it came out. Because there was like a pre-order beta, there was another open beta, and I think there's another open beta next weekend before it comes out on the 4th. I'd have to check the calendar to actually get a time there. Yeah, I think there's another beta next weekend, and then that. So, yeah, it's a bad video game, guys. I'm sorry to say that or even really cover it, but I have to because it's bad. And I think you should save your money. There's other games. Play Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk's a better game. They're not even close to the same game, but it's a much better game if you're looking at games that have early demos or betas. Tony Hawk's real good. Heard that Samurai Jack game's okay. You can play that one. That's even cheaper. And it's a fighting game kind of deal if you want to punch some stuff. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for watching. Again, my apologies on this being a real bummer of a video, but it's a bummer of a game. So there's that.